Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing an Art Impressions watercolor using their Snowman set. And I have a piece of watercolor it's a Canson XL watercolor paper. And in our Marvy markers, we're going to be using Crimson Lake, African Violet, Tropical, Prussian Blue, Pine Green, Black, and Sepia. Okay, and so let's get started. We are going to start with the Snowman. I'm going to put him on our block and we're going to ink him up with the African Violet. Just ink him up all over. Use the side of your marker and really brush on the ink good. There we go. And we're just going to position him right about here because I want to make room for the trees. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we have the little trees. There's two different size trees. There's the big one and the little one. So we're going to put the big one in the foreground. And we're going to ink it up in the African Violet as well, because it has snow all over it. And we'll add some green to the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put that one right about here. And I'm also going to stamp it on this post-it. I'm going to stamp it just like that, where that side is on the sticky side. And I am just going to just kind of roughly cut out this side. We're going to make a little mask so we can tuck the other tree in behind it. Okay. Just line that up just like so. Okay. I'm going to put the other tree on our block. And again, ink it up with the African Violet. And then that'll look like it's in the foreground. I mean in the background. Okay, so let's start by pulling some of the color out of the lines. Just dip your brush in water and pinch it, and we'll just go around the edges. Go around the edges to give our snowman a rounded appearance. A little bit more water. Maybe not quite that much. Just pinch off your brush if you get a little too much water. I want to go down. I want to brush this color down so it gives the shadow of his tummy layer. Overhanging his bottom layer or snowball or whatever you want to call it on the snowman. I'm going to pull the color out here and here too for shadows. Just going to touch those lines a little bit around his buttons. Okay, now around his face. I'm going to pull it out this way for roundness. Up underneath his hat brim, and just a little bit around this side over here. Turn it around. I have to turn my paper. We're going to blot a little bit there. try and just fade these lines out a little bit. Okay, let's see. And we're also going to pull these down because this is his snowbank that he's sitting in. And so we're going to take our African violet and we're going to put snowbank back here where these trees are setting. We're going to pull that down as well. All piled up underneath those trees. Okay, now the snow sitting on top of the trees. So know it's on the top here. We're going to pull that up. Each layer we're going to just pull that up a little bit so it has the appearance of snow, and then in between we'll put green. Okay. Do the same thing to this tree. So this video is just going to be doing this watercolor, and then the next video we're going to turn this watercolor into an interactive card. Oh, I forgot to get around these buttons. Just to show that dimension there. Okay. So now we're going to take some, not tropical, pine green. Take some pine green, just put it on our little palette, and we're going to just brush some of this pine green in here. Okay, that's good. We're going to soften brush, wipe it off. Okay, so now we're going to take the black and, oops, not the brush end, the tip end. I'm just going to darken up these circles over his mouth. Try and leave a slight little highlight. And then we're going to take the brush end, these buttons, leave a little bit of a highlight on the buttons. There we go. And his nose as well. Just leave a little highlight there. You know, I think I may soften that with the brush and then come back in and put, yeah, then we'll put a white highlight in with our gel pen. Okay, so next I'm going to put some of this black on my palette and get a little dampness in the brush. I'm going to turn my paper. I'm going to come from this side. I'll let that dry a little bit. And I'm going to use one other stamp set. I'm going to use the Foliage set 2, and we're going to use this right here to make looks like a little holly on his brim. Okay, I'm sorry, my battery died, but I used my Stamp-A-Majig and stamped the little image on there, and so I could get it placed. I stamped it a couple of times, got it placed on there, and then I took a high concentration of the tropical and did in this indentations of the scarf and the layer of the scarf that's behind. So now I'm going to take some watered down tropical so it will be lighter, and I'm just going to try and brush in some color. I do have a little bit of mixing of the tropical and the African violet, but that's okay. Alright, I'm going to let that dry for a minute. While that's drying, I think I'm going to take some more of the tropical, just get a little bit more of a concentration there, and I'm going to use the tropical on the hat brim too. I'm just kind of dabbing it in there. Okay. Get a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to let that dry. We're going to let that dry. Okay, while we're letting those dry, we are going to do the arms. So you get just one little arm and you just put it on both sides. And we're going to use our stamp positioner again for this. So just put that in there like that. We're going to take our sepia, get that up good, get that back in the corner, mash that down, and we're going to have this one coming off right here. So let me just put that in there like that. Oop, what am I doing? Here we go. Alright, we're going to re-ink up with the sepia. Okay, there's one arm, and now we'll re-ink up again and we'll do the other arm. And this one I think we can just eyeball. Yeah, that looked good. Okay, and now you want to just fairly lightly touch these. Just spread the color just a little bit, just to fill it in so you don't have any white. Just kind of dabbing, a little bit of dragging. Get that filled in. Okay, there we go. Let's see, I want to come back to this hat brim. I'm going to take the marker directly to it. Just really wanted that to show just a little bit more. And I'm going to take the smaller end and kind of define those creases some more. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, now we're going to take some Crimson Lake and we're going to brush this in on these stripes. just like so. Okay, rinse that off. Now we're going to take the fine tip in and we're going to make some holly berries. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to take our Prussian blue, that's African violet, our Prussian blue, that on our palette. Gonna get some water, pinch it off. Then we're gonna just brush in some sky. After we get this brushed in, then we're going to take some water and we're going to fade it out. Ooh. Okay, we'll wait and see how that dries and we'll decide what else to do to it. Okay, everything's all dry and I kind of like the mottled look a little bit because it makes it look like a snowy sky. And we're going to try the Signo Uni-ball white gel pen first. And I do want to put in this little highlight on the nose. And then I'm going to just go in and put snow dots. Sometimes if there's like a high humidity outside, this pen doesn't work, and so then I'll use the Jelly Roll Broad. But this seems to be doing the trick today. It's not raining here in North Texas, so, which we have been having a lot of that. Randomly putting these dots in for the snow. Just going to touch on those little buttons. Alright, I think that looks good. Don't forget to sign a date. And that will complete our picture. Oh, I did want to do one other thing. I did want to maybe put some stripes . Just add a little something to that scarf. Okay, there we go. And one more thing. I wanted to increase the highlight on that hat. Okay, that's it. So thanks for watching, and we will be turning this into, I said interactive card, but it's going to be called what it's called a telescope card. So stay tuned for that to see this in a telescope card.